Yes. Hi. I've never done the solo yammer before. I'm a little bit curious to see how it's going to go. We'll find out. Essentially, I just watched a great video, ContraPoints, um, and it was all about people who have gone to the fertility clinic. It says I'm live. We're going to big screen that. Yes, so it was all about going to the fertility clinic, and that made me think about my own experiences going to the fertility clinic, which I have two. Um, the second one was far less comedic, in that I wound up, well, I'll do the first one first. So my ex-wife and I had been together for a few years. We were trying to have kids, and it was not working. We were dealing with a great deal. Do I have? Yeah, I do have a microphone. Okay, good. We were dealing with a great deal of frustration. We had a couple of miscarriages. It was really a dark time, and what we wound up getting told was that we should go, do some fertility testing from this family doctor we had. And the family doctor suggested that I also needed to get tested. And, in an age of toxic masculinity, I was like, well, what do you mean, sir? That's crazy talk. I'm as fertile as a bull. Um, but it certainly was, more than a little bit unnerving. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I should probably do this. And I went to the fertility clinic, and I'm just balancing my phone. Hopefully, there we go. I went to the fertility clinic, or no, I went to a fertility appointment with my family doctor at the time, and I was like, "Hey, so we're doing this?" And she was like, "Yes." And I expected that she was going to set me up with a clinic, and instead, what she did was um, she gave me a cup and a little, sealed cup and a baggie, and she was like, "What you need to do is take this, go to your home, um, and you do whatever you want to do, but you have to be back and deliver this within 30 minutes of when you finish." And I was like, okay, you mean like I have to just do this in my house? And she was like, yeah. So I lived more than half an hour away from the clinic. So I was like, well, that's a thing. I guess I need a ride. So I called my then friend, Kevin, and I was like, hey, Kevin, I have a really weird request for you. I need you to come to my house tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning, sharp. I cannot express to you enough how much important it is, or how very important it is that the word sharp be recognized as important. I will be ejaculating into a cup. This is my plan. It may be not a good plan, but it's the plan I have. It's the plan I'm going to go with. So I'm gonna be doing this into a cup, and you don't want to be there late because then all my ejaculate will die, and you don't want to be there early because I don't think you want to hang out for this. So naturally, the next day, 8:30 in the morning, there's a knock on my door, and it's Kevin. And he claims that he was in the area, which is not possible because I lived on the other side of the city, and it's 8 in the fucking morning, or 8:30 in the morning on a fucking like Wednesday. Like bullshit, you had shit that you needed to do just up by me. Boy, wasn't that convenient. So I'm like, well, guess what, man? You are gonna have to like wait while I do this. So I go into the other room and try desperately not to focus on the fact that, I could seriously see this friend of mine like just opening my door and being like, hey, got any chips, guy? But he did not. So I was able to get the job done. And I take the cup, you know, put the lid back on, and throw it in the paper bag, and we run to the clinic, and I go and I plop the thing on the counter, and the lady sort of looks at me like it's just a regular lab. It's not a special anything. But, I figured like obviously she would know. She did not know. So I put the thing on the bag, and she's looking at me very confused. And I'm like, there are like millions of things inside here that someone needs to see, or however I put it. So leave. Doctor calls back, and the doctor is like, I need you to come in. Now, those words from a doctor are never awesome, right? If you go for a biopsy and the doctor needs you to come in, it is not a good sign. When you go for a squeeze test, and you know exactly what I mean when I say squeeze test, and the doctor wants you to come in, this is like the worst possible scenario. So, what can I do? So I make an appointment, and I go in, and the doctor holds up a bunch of numbers, and the doctor is like, it's not good. And I'm like, what do you like? If I got like 3 sperm? And she's like, no, 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 no. I'm not in a place where I can interpret this. So, we're going to need you to go see a fertility specialist. So, absolutely, sign me up. I am the lowest I've ever felt, because contrary to, like, I am a decent human being, and I don't equate my value to the contents of my genitalia. But at the same time, like, society tells us that you're only as good as the jizz. And apparently I had none. So I go to this clinic, and it takes a couple of weeks, or it was a urology appointment actually. And you go see the urologist, and he's like, so what brings you in? And I was like, well, apparently I'm shooting blanks. And he's like, oh no. What do you mean? He goes, well, I'm looking at the numbers, and they're great. They're like, wow, great. The only number that's higher than normal, or that's off what we would normally see, is the number of malformed sperm. But based on the number that you have, it really doesn't matter, right? You have a buttload. Oh shit. Oh my, that was potentially awkward. I don't know if I'm still streaming or not. I think I am. It looks like I'm live. I hope I'm live. I just moved my phone and somehow managed to bump the power button on my computer. So I'm just gonna hope that doesn't happen again. That was a frustrating thing. Um, it looks like it's stuck here too. I don't see. I'm gonna try this. Cut. Can I like reactivate my camera? Because I think that's what's happening here. One sec. If this is working and you're still watching, sorry, I'm an idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm cute-ish. There, it looks like I'm back. I'm gonna find out in a second if that worked on here or not. Um, hopefully, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm an idiot. There's a weird drag too, so I have no idea if this is like. It looks like it's still streaming, so yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. All right, sorry about that. Anyways, so this is like the worst possible news. Go to the urologist. Urologist is like, this number is high. It's the number of malformed sperm, and based on the number that you have, you're actually, tickety boo, which was a huge load off. But that initial experience, and then years later, we decided we were going to go for fertility treatment, and we went to a proper fertility clinic instead of going to the random. Your fucking family doctor, and he gives you a fucking cup. So I go to the fertility clinic, and they're all excited, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this," and they say that we're gonna talk about create an appointment. So I go to the appointment, And it is exactly like everybody's story of a fertility clinic. It is creepy. Like they make it as nice as possible, but you're still going into a little tiny room, which is basically a room that has a revolving door of masturbators. So all day, every day, just whackety 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 whack. Next. So that was uncomfortable. And I go in, and they did not. This was a fucking half-ass place, man. They did not have porn. Oh, they had like porn mags, but no videos. And I mean, like, I'm Gen X. The last time I looked at a picture of a naked girl to get off was, you know, like a Playboy when I was 10. I was gonna say 6, but I probably didn't get off at 6, to be entirely, fully honest. So, anyways, I get my little cup, and I go into the little room, and I remember the couch that they had in the room was like vinyl, and that is not what you want. I don't know, boys, girls, whatever. I think if you've ever experienced a vinyl couch sofa thing that you're masturbating on, it's not. Your ass starts to stick to things, and then you're like, shouldn't I have like a cover or something? Because ew, like this is uncomfortable. Like I'm sticky, and then I realize that I'm sticking where like a bunch of other people have been stuck before, and that's just like So, anyways, I'm still a horny young man, and nothing's gonna stop me. So I did my magic, yay! And the end result was it turned out I was ridiculously fertile, and the end of the story is, of course, we had been told that we would never have kids. I now have 4 kids, but it wasn't the miracle of fertility treatments. In our case, for whatever fluke reason, um, my ex wife, when we were doing this, she had to. Go for a bunch of tests. They found that she had polycystic ovaries. They told us it was very unlikely that we, based on the condition of her ovaries, that we would ever have any children. And then they wanted to kick in like the heavy duty drugs, and she was, we were both very frustrated by that. But what are you going to do? So they said, come for an appointment when you have your next period, and so she's waiting, and her part of the issue was that her periods were very sporadic, um, and so we waited and we waited, and finally she called up and she was like, "Look, can I just get like the morning after pill to kick in the system so that I can, start taking these pills so we can start down this fucking miracle of life journey?" And then we're like, "Well, you have to have a pregnancy test first." Fine, we'll go have a pregnancy test. So I was at school. I was in college at the time, and she went and had a pregnancy test, and the test came back positive. So she was pregnant all on her own, and that fertilized ovum would eventually become Abigail. So it all worked out. Anyways, this was awkward, but I think I had to break my cherry with the first time doing a yammer all on my own. I see that Sugar Ray says I have great kids and teases me about having kids on purpose. Yes, I did. Although, to be entirely upfront, I had Abby on purpose. Emma Peach was not so much an on purpose as it was like, we know that we just had a baby. We just went through 4 long years of not having a baby. Maybe we just like not try, but not try. And then Seth and Jake, that was God striking me down there. Seth and Jake were both like, "Oh, you're pregnant, are you?" Which of course turned out awesome, but was, she comes up with a video camera for Jake. She comes upstairs and she's like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "What? Are you fucking pregnant again?" That's not the memory you want to hold on to. So that sucked. But anyways, that's my story. I have now done my first solo yammer. It was silly. Again, watch the video. It's called The Darkness by ContraPoints. If you're a decent human being, ContraPoints is somebody that you should be following all the time. She is a stunning trans woman who is phenomenal and hilarious and makes really incredible movies. If you are not a good person, and you think that trans people are horrible or that women are gross, then you should probably just be masturbating to Ben Shapiro right now instead. So go away. But for those of you that like it, ContraPoints on YouTube. Check it out. I'm gonna stop now. Hopefully